I've got here a Lenovo ThinkCenter T480 in flawless optical and technical condition. This is one notebook I really do like to talk about on this channel, and it's not only because it's a Lenovo ThinkCenter T480, it's just because it's a laptop that has very good quality features. It's typical Lenovo, and I've covered this on this channel before, and this was one of the videos that actually blew up my channel. In this particular video, I'm going to be upgrading the SSD. I've got here a 512 gigabyte NVMe SSD because on this laptop, the way it stays, it has a 256 gigabyte SSD built into it. This video is not about the SSD in this case, but if you are really looking for good quality SSDs, I can pretty much recommend the Fast-Yank SSD. I've used it myself. Never ever had any problems with them, but then this video is, like I said, is not about the SSD in this case. I've actually covered this video on this channel before, which is me upgrading the Lenovo ThinkCenter T480, but this was a highly edited video, and sometimes when the videos are so highly edited, it's kind of difficult for people to actually follow along. So I felt like, you know what, next time I'm going to upgrade a Lenovo ThinkCenter T480, I'm just going to make sure that I do it on live video, no editing, just go step by step, because I know that when the video is not edited, definitely people are able to follow along, and then it kind of gives more value to the video in itself. If it's so edited, you cut off a lot of important steps, and then at the end of the day, you just keep getting people asking you questions upon questions on the comment section of YouTube. All right. That being said, first of all, I don't want to go into the ports that this laptop has. If you are kind of interested in that, I'm going to link up a video here where you can actually see exactly what you get if you buy this notebook. But believe me, just by way of the fact that I have used this notebook myself, I can highly, highly recommend it. Let's say you are looking for a very responsible used laptop. You don't have a lot of budget to spend on something very expensive. This is one thing you can actually consider buying. This is a Core i5 8th Gen Intel processor in it, and actually I'm going to be upgrading it as well, perhaps not in this video, to a 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, and also upgrading the RAM sticks. Right here on this notebook, we have a very solid processor. We have DDR4 RAM, which is in itself, it's also a very highly responsible RAM. Depending on what you want to do, it should be able to actually pull up a lot of the activities that you want to do online. But one question I keep getting on this channel is that people keep asking me is, am I able to do some graphic editing on this laptop? Yes, you can, but depending on the kind of editing you are looking at. If you're looking at doing basic editing, then I can say you can get your feet wet on editing on this laptop. But if you're looking at doing hardcore editing, Premiere Pro, doing a lot of graphic transitions and animations and all that, then you may want to look elsewhere. But let's say you're just a regular user doing some coding, doing some scripting, doing some Microsoft Word stuff, multitasking, going on the internet. This is actually a laptop that you will never ever regret. The beautiful thing about this laptop is that it's got 2 batteries. This is one of the best selling points of this laptop. I think there are very few models of the Lenovo ThinkPads that actually have this kind of setup. This has 2 batteries, which means that you can pretty much use the battery for a very, very, very long time. There's an internal battery as well as an external battery. On a separate video, which I'm going to actually link here, I went into details about the technicals and all those things that you might, all those questions you might have bothering your mind that you might want to ask. But like I said, we're just going to go ahead now, pull up this laptop apart, and possibly take a look at how we can change the RAM. So before I go into this, I actually like to put a very nice cloth on the table so as to avoid scratching the surface. Like you can see, even though it's used, it's interesting that this laptop still has very, very good optical appearance, and I would like to keep it so. So I'm going to flip it over like that, and then with a little screwdriver, like you see, this should be enough. I'm just going to go ahead and open the screws. If you like, you can actually take up the battery at this point, and to do that, there are these two holders. They are clips. They hold the battery in place. slide them to the both side, and then you can actually gently wiggle out the battery. All right, just like that. Okay, just like that. I'm going to put that on the side here. So then I'm going to go ahead now and open the screws. Understand that as you are opening the screws, they don't come off the laptop, so you're just going to open it and it still keeps hanging. So just that you know, not like you keep trying to open it and then nothing comes out and you're kind of angry. All right, so that's gone. I'm going to do the same for this to this point. Also going to do the same here. In all, I think you have to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and then before you start to take the back cover apart. You see, each time I do this, I'm always very careful. Even though the screws are already opened, I still want to try to just be sure that everything is really opened, like give it an extra turn, because sometimes you think that you've opened all the screws on the laptop and you try to take out the back cover only to realize that one screw, basically a middle screw, is still holding the back cover, and if you are not careful, you could actually break things at this point. Okay, I really think that this is enough. This little thing right here, unfortunately mine is broken, but it's something you can actually get on Amazon. If you ever think of opening a Lenovo ThinkPad T480, I would really advise that you use this, because either you use this or maybe a credit card. I haven't really tried a credit card, but this small thing, still have to check the name of this thing, whatever it's called. I really don't know, but this is a tool that you want to have at home, in your office or wherever, because the moment you decide to open a ThinkPad, then this thing will come to bear. All right. So now that the laptop has been opened, what I have to do is to just continue to work my way through these clips. See, just keep working my way through. And as you work your way through, you realize that it's unclipping. The very first time I did this, then I would pretty much say I was still a novice when I did it first time, and it wasn't the best experience, honestly. Okay. Just gonna keep working my way through, and it's gonna keep unplugging as you do that. Okay. So that side, the other side is done. I just raise the laptop up and then continue to work my way through. Takes a lot of patience. Like I said, don't have to force anything. If you have this little device, whatever it is, this plastic, this should really be an easy process. Although I've also checked on the internet, some people still claim that even though they had this device, at the end of the day, they ended up breaking a screw, a clip or two from the ThinkPad cover. All right, I think I have that almost done. And this is one of the beauty of making this thing live, because if not that I have done this thing live, I would naturally cut off a lot of action from me opening this notebook. And in that way, you really don't see how it has gone. Looks beautiful. And that's the internal battery right there. This is the RAM slot. It's free. And that's the other RAM slot with an 8 GB of DDR4 RAM. Like I said, this is one very good notebook that Lenovo made, the Lenovo Lenovo ThinkPad T480. Hands down, it's flawless. It has everything you need to actually make this thing last so long for you because of these upgrade possibilities. So if you ever have needs to upgrade the RAM, you still have the option to do that. Unlike most of the laptops you have these days where you are pretty much stuck, you buy it with this same configuration that you bought it. This is pretty much what you have to live with, and If you ever have a demanding task and you feel like you want to upgrade your RAM, it's always never possible. So you don't have this bottleneck on the Lenovo ThinkPad T480, and this is the reason why a lot of people tend to buy this, even though it's not the newest, but given that it has an Intel Core i5 8th gen, I really do think that this is exactly what you need. There's a wireless LAN adapter there, and this is supposed to be a V1 module, but it's not included. And I really do think that this notebook also comes with a SIM card slot. I didn't really check that. I think it was the other model. There was one model I actually worked upon. I saw that it had a SIM card slot. Well, that's not the most interesting thing right now. So what I want to do is I want to take this out. There is no screw holding this plastic, so when you just have to kind of push it out like this, and it's going to just come out for you. All right, exactly like that. Okay, and when you flip it around, then the NVMe SSD is somewhere there. So I'm going to go ahead and also take this cover out. I hope this thing is being caught on camera. I'm not taking a look at the angles of the camera right now, but I'm just hoping that everything is right there. Okay. Okay, so this also has to come out. That's the first screw. I'm going to take that out like that. Second screw. All right, and that's the SSD right there. So to bring that out, I also have to remove that screw and take this out like this. Okay, so the new SSD is going to come back in, and just the same way I'm just going to screw back the screw like that. Okay, and then I'm going to return this. Make sure it's aligned, otherwise you're going to struggle with the with putting the screws back in place. Okay, that's aligned. I'm going to grab the first screw, and then I'm going to go ahead and work it on. You see, guys, I've been saying that I really want to get a screwdriver that has a magnetic head, but this has never happened. I really don't know why it's taking me so long to buy this. I need it. It's not in doubt. This is something I really do need. You know, if I had a magnetic screws, if I had a screwdriver with a magnetic head now, I wouldn't have been struggling with this. Okay, so just gonna end this video and then make sure I get this make sure I get the screwdriver with a magnetic head as soon as possible. All right, I'm gonna plug that in, and then I'm going to replace the SSD caddy or the SSD holder back to its place. Like I said, there's no screw holding this. You just have to take a look and be sure that it's already in place. I think it was in already, so just did that again to be extra sure. Okay, so if you have that, then you have pretty much upgraded the SSD on your Lenovo ThinkPad T480. That's the original SSD that came with it. I don't need that because this laptop has actually been sold. It's sold for about 363 euros. It's in the best of condition. It's flawless. It's got 2 good batteries. That's the external battery right here, and the internal battery is right there. Very durable batteries, and it's also going to have a 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. Right now I just got 8, and I'm going to be slotting the other RAM in as soon as possible. And not only that, it also includes delivery for a very beautiful laptop like this. You see, if you go onto my website right now, you should be able to buy this laptop. But I also know that on this channel, there are some people that might be like, wait, hardware money, I do not want to buy this laptop, but I want to also learn how to sell this laptop. I want to learn how to sell it on an online shop. I want to learn how to sell it on a platform like eBay, on Amazon, wherever. But then, if this is your question, or if this is your wish or your desire, feel free to book a free call with me. This is an offer that is pretty much hard to find, which is somebody that sells laptop is telling you, come and learn how to make money. Come and learn how you too can do the same. If this is exactly what you want to do, which is you feel like this is for you, a decent kind of job, a decent kind of small business where you can actually do from your home, then feel free, go in the link in the description below, book a free call with me. Let's talk over it, see how I can be of help to you, and possibly see how we can get you up and running as soon as possible. Also, we've got a WhatsApp group. Feel free to be part of the group. You'll be able to meet with like-minded people like you, people that pretty much love the Lenovo ThinkPads, people that love refurbished IT hardwares, and also aspiring sellers of this kind of hardware. Feel free to be part of the WhatsApp group. And yes, that is that for that. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and include the RAM sticks, and thereafter we can go ahead and close this laptop. Right here, I've got two crucial 8GB DDR4 RAMs. This is 8 and this also is 8, making a total of 16GB. So for 363 euros, this buyer actually received a refurbished laptop in the best condition possible. Not only that, received a used laptop with 512GB new NVMe SSD, as well as 16GB of DDR4 RAM. As if that's not enough, this laptop is also going to be shipped out and delivered, all for 363 euros. This is, I believe, is a very, very good offer. If you also go online to check, you will realize that this has been a decent offer. So what I did now is just to lift up this black plastic that you have right here, and then with that I'm able to slot in the first RAM, and then I'm going to do the same, which is lift it up. Sometimes it's just best to have a better view of what you are doing, so I'm going to turn it around, and then so in this way I can actually see exactly where the RAM sticks should go. So if you have done that correctly, which is you were careful to have opened the back panel, and then you were careful to have slotted in the SSD right here, and then you have been careful to have put the RAM sticks the way it should, you should pretty much be good to go. Normally, I tend to always want to blow out some dust on this, but it looks very clean. I really don't have any fear that this is clogged with dust or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead now and start to close my dearly beloved Lenovo ThinkPad T480. It's also the same thing. I think the main advice here is just to be careful. Either you are opening the laptop or you are closing it, just be careful. So I simply aligned the back cover like that, and then I'm just going to go ahead and work my way all through the edges. As you do that, you already hear this laptop clipping and